Well, welcome to today's webinar. This is From Likes to Leads. And today we'll be covering creating call to action posts, where to point the call to action posts, and which platforms are best for your audience.
Bear with me 1 second when I get everything up here. There we are. Okay, so today we're going to answer questions that will help you create call to action posts, where to point your call to action. And we're also going to take a look at which platforms are best for your audience. Okay, Chloe?
If you're like many of the small businesses and nonprofits we work with, you know, social media is essential, but it's hard to keep up with all of the new platforms, changes, and trends. Things are always changing. So let's start by taking a look at a few of the stats about social media. So we know that internet users spend more than 1/3 of their time on social media. And about 56% of internet connected adults in the US have multiple social media accounts. There's a lot of power in using social media for businesses and nonprofits, and that's why we've compiled your top social media questions. With your help, you can unlock the power of social media and make it work for you. So I'm Chloe, my co-host is Katrine, and we're from Easy Marketing. We have a lot of great information for you today. We hope to get to as many of your questions as we can. If we miss yours or if you think of something later, here is our contact information. And we also invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post monthly videos. So we're located here in Northeast Florida with over 20 years in business and clients throughout the US and abroad. We specialize in website design, email marketing, social media management, and graphic designs. Our clients range from local upstarts to international green energy companies.
So today we're going to talk about likes to leads. It's all about creating a social media strategy where likes translates into leads, involves more than just accumulating likes. And it's about engaging your audience and building trust and guiding them towards meaningful actions. So let's take a look at a few of those things. The first thing you need to think about when you are creating your strategy is you need to identify your audience. What is the demographics? What are their interests? What is their pain points? Where on social media do you find them? And Chloe is going to talk more about that a little bit later. And then what is your objective here? It all depends on what industry, what business, and where you are in developing your business. Is it just to give, I'm not saying it's just, but it increase brand awareness? Or is it to generate leads? And with leads, I'm talking about a name, a phone number, an email address. Or is it to drive website traffic so people can visit your website where they can either find more, they can make a donation, they can purchase things? It all make sure you have those goals before you start to create your strategy. And after that, you need to create engaging content. And again, it depends a little bit on what industry and what your goals are. For many of you, it can be educational content, tutorials, how-to, industry insights. So to the right here, we can see what we did for one of our clients that is a bookkeeping company. This was a year-end checklist or what a company need to do at the end of the year. So this comes in to the educational content. Storytelling, it works for any business, but I would say that nonprofits and a lot of service industries, it works really, really well. But even a flower shop or a store that sells shoes or anything, behind the scenes storytelling, for example, when there is new inventory coming or you have an opening and have live streams from that, it is a kind of storytelling that is the one we see is the most engaging of all the different all the posts we are doing. It can also be interactive posts with polls, quizzes, challenges that can boost engagement. And especially if you're working on Instagram, it needs to be visual appealing, like high quality images and videos and infographics. Before anyone starts to read or get engaged in it, they're going to look at the post. And you have parts of a seconds before someone is going to quickly pass by. Just like when you do email, sending an email, the most important part there is the sender's name and the subject line. And you can also utilize likes as a gateway, and it should not be the end. So we need the call to action, and we need to make sure that they know what to do. So Chloe, you created this one for Moosehaven. What was the idea with this post?
Yes, so the one newspaper had a voting for Best of Clay for various categories, and for Moosehaven, it had to do with um, you know, senior living, hospitality, things like that. And they were nominated for 2 categories. So I used this with links for people to then vote for Moosehaven. So the links led directly to the voting spot. The website was actually a little hard to navigate. So having the link go directly to where they needed to vote made it a lot easier for people to make the vote happen instead of trying to find it on their own. So that was just to get votes for Moosehaven in their 2 categories.
Yeah, so this is a typical call to action, like click and do this. It can also be content upgrades, and we're going to show an example of that on the next slide, where you can give things away. But it also landing pages. It could be that the like and the click will take you to a landing page that is very specific to the call of action, and we're going to show you an example of that a little bit later as well. So again, let's leverage this. So this is a, can you talk about this, how we created this social media able to gather more information, including email addresses?
Yes, so this was a client that didn't have a ton of contacts, and we were trying to find ways to gather more contacts for her newsletter and all of her social media. So this was a free guide. It was about 12 pages, and we put this out there to then get with the newsletter link to sign up for the newsletter. And then once they sign up for the newsletter, they get this free guide to their email. So they're signed up for the newsletter now. So now they're going to get the newsletter every month, but they're also getting something free in return for their email address.
So it was a booklet. So after they filled out the information, they could look at it as a brochure online, or they can actually download it and get the first 5 minutes of share yoga routines. So so when you start to engage with people, you also need to nurture your audience. That means that if people are asking questions, that you're quick to respond, that you make sure you are commenting, that you're liking them. And especially if you work business to business, you should turn around and like their social media, like what they are doing, comment on what they are doing, because they are going to pay attention. They're going to pay attention. Oh, so and so is checking or they have questions. Now they're going to remember you more. So make sure that you download on your cell phone all the apps that are needed for the different platforms to keep engaged. And yes, you need to keep an eye on your cell phone and be able to reply to them. And there are a lot of softwares depending on how many contacts you have and how much interaction you are going to have in here. And then the last thing to talk about here is to make sure that you're tracking the interactions you have on all the different social media platforms. There are fantastic analytic screens you can look at. When are people commenting? How many comments? You can take a look and see what of your different posts are most engaging. And of course, we always think here that email marketing is one of the is the strongest digital marketing tool you have. And in there, you can go in and find exactly who opened up, how often they open up, what parts of a newsletter, for example, is most engaging. So you can build on that in your future social media. So adjust your strategy based on the data you can find in the statistics for each and every one of your platforms. So Chloe, what platform should I use?
Yeah, so people always want to know which platforms to use, and we talk about the four founding fathers. So I'll tell you a little more about that. So Facebook is huge. There's about 3 billion users. It's more like you can use it as a business page, a personal page, and it's a great starting platform for businesses, also great for nonprofits. It's easier to use, so you know, pretty basic when it comes to making a post or getting it started. And it's great for friends, family, and news. And then when it comes to the age range, it's typically, the older age range. And then Instagram is steady growing with about 2 billion users. It's another important platform to consider, but it's more image based and it's considered the first mobile first platform where people are mostly on their phones when they're looking at Instagram. They're not on their computers. And the age range is about 18 to 34 for the people that you're trying to target. So if your audience is around that age, Instagram is a great tool to target that audience. Say one more thing about Instagram. Between Facebook and Instagram, so Facebook, you can use links, any link you can post on your whatever post that you make, and anybody can click it. Instagram is a lot trickier. If you're going to post a link on there, you want to make it without, www, HTTPS. You want it to be just the link itself and then try to capitalize each word. But you'll want to put that in your bio as well so that people can actually click it. And then LinkedIn is a platform that you're not really using for your personal stuff. You're using it like what you're doing professionally. It's so people can get to know you as a professional. What's your job? What do you do? Not really your personal interest, but it's great for connecting with other business owners and business to business. And the age range is around 46 to 55. And then with that.
No, were you done with LinkedIn?
Yep.
Yes, someone asked me to go back to the Instagram page here. So so again, just like she said, this is a highly visually important one. So here you really need to make sure you have good images, but you also have a lot of young people using Instagram more than are using Facebook. So let's go on.
And then we have X, formerly known as Twitter. It's more fast-paced, news-based. You don't need to have beautiful photography or graphics. You need to have short, sweet, to the point posts. And it takes a bit of commitment because you have to constantly be posting. So if you're posting, once every 3 months, you're never going to get any traction on there. And other platforms to consider are Snapchat and TikTok. So these are definitely for the younger groups. Think, Gen Z. And these are things to consider. TikTok is, getting bigger and bigger as it goes. Snapchat is continually growing. And they're also visual platforms, more videos. And on TikTok, people are worried that it might not be around anymore or it's going to go away, but it's always good to get started and gain traction on there, get followers, and consistently remind them, hey, check out my YouTube, check out my Facebook, check out my Twitter, check out my Instagram. That way you're pulling from one place to another. And then if TikTok were to ever go away, you still have those people who are, know who you are and can find you elsewhere.
And the two other ones is Pinterest and YouTube. So you shouldn't forget those as well. So let's jump in and take a look at some real examples. So this is one example from Moose Haven, where on their Facebook page, Chloe added a post that looks like this. It says, hot off the presses, the April newsletter is here, discover, and so on. So we had just sent out an email, but not far from everyone has subscribed to the emails. So we make a post of it. And as you can see, there is a link to the post. So anyone clicking on the link that is in the post will first, the whole newsletter will come up, and their newsletter is really, really long. So this is just the top of it. It's a really long newsletter, monthly newsletter. And at the top is the article that she was referring to in the post. And in here, there are really two important call to action. At the very top, there is join our email list. So even if they were not usually getting emails, as soon as they get this, they can say, oh, I can sign up for their newsletters. Let's click on this and it will take them to a sign up form. This is Constant Contact. They fill that out and it goes right into the database. So next time a newsletter is sent out, they are going to get the newsletter. And the second call to action in here is if they want to read more. This goes for several of the articles in the email here, but this run here is about a place to build lifelong friendship. If they click on read more, because this is only part of the longer article, they will get to the website. So in the website, there is the full article they can read. But now we have them on the website, which is a great thing because there is so much to talk about when it comes to Moose Haven. And if they just click on the logo or go to home, they will be on the website, find out more what Moose Haven has to offer when it comes to senior living. So this is one example of call to action that really takes them somewhere and gives something. The next one is going to have the word landing page in it. A landing page is a standalone web page designed to focus on a specific goal to convert visitors into leads or sales. It's where users land after they click on an ad, an email, or a call to action. And it's designed to encourage a specific action, such as signing up for newsletter or make a purchase and so on. And if you have a website and can create your own special landing page, that would be the best thing. We can do that on our website. We know how to do this because we build websites. But if you don't have access to your website so you yourself can set that up quickly, if you use Constant Contact's email marketing, in that package is that you can create landing pages. You can make it very easily, make it look like a web page. You just put the logo, the colors, and then you have the call to action. That could be anything, depending on what you're working on. So let's give an example of what we did. So this is our website, and earlier this spring, we were hiring. So we put out a social media post saying just that, we are hiring. And there was a link to our website on a specific page called job posting. This page usually doesn't exist. You can usually not find this page on the website. So we created a page and we linked to it, and we put all the details about this marketing and project coordinator we were looking for. And as you were reading it, if you went further down on the page, it will have an online form where people would go in and they will fill out their name, email address, and then they will upload their resume. And then there were a few more items in this form. And as they fill this out, I will receive an email with all of the information they had. And that's how we hired. And now if you go to our website, it's not there anymore. But that was a specific call to action page that we created. But we could have created that in Constant Contact as well. Okay, do we have any questions? I'm looking in the chat because we are actually done. See here, to live. I'm looking. So Chloe, what's coming next?
Yes, so in July, we'll be doing social media mastery hashtags and content calendars. So feel free to sign up and visit us in July. We would love to see you there.
And then here again is our contact information. If a Constant Contact is something you want to try for yourself, because that's the email marketing we are using, and you decide to set that up, we will be happy to help you for free set up a template and import your contacts list when you start a new account. Thank you, everyone. We made it within 30 minutes, and we really hope we will see you in July again and talking about hashtags and content calendars.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.